It's a haul, y'all. I got some books. Let's get into it. So I have a dental appointment today, and I thought I would do a little bit of a different video. A get ready with me, or at least do my skincare with me. A get ready with me, and I'll show you the books that I bought, okay? Never done this format before. I don't know how it's gonna go, but you're here and I'm here, so let's do it. We'll call it Beauty and the Books. So I made a quick trip to Barnes & Noble. It actually wasn't a quick trip. I actually spent a couple of hours in Barnes & Noble because I haven't been to Barnes & Noble in a minute. I really wanted to go. I really wanted to go to the cafe, and I got an everything scone, which was so good. All right, so let's see how this goes. I'm using the Tower 28 hypochlorous acid. My face is already clean, and I didn't put anything on it last night when I went to sleep. So I'm gonna just spray a little of the hypochlorous acid from Tower 28. It is like a sanitizer for your skin for the most part. And I just sometimes like to use it in the morning before I put on my makeup and, you know, head out for the day. I need to add some more light. Let's get it nice and bright. I like to use it in the morning. It's Tower 28, but it's hypochlorous acid. You can get hypochlorous acid on Amazon. You don't have to pay the Tower 28 price. I like to start off with just sanitizing my face a little bit. Just keep any uglies at bay, pretty much. And I have been transformed. I am officially a road girl because the road glazing milk is everything. So that's my next step. I come in with my glazing milk. This stuff is amazing. It is the ceramide facial essence, but I do believe like it has hyaluronic acid in it and some copper peptides, I do believe. I'll check on that to be sure. But this stuff has been a game changer as far as just keeping my skin very, very, very hydrated. Get into the first book while I let this sink in. My elbows ashy. If they are, please forgive me. I got my grandson some little books, but these are not it. And I think those may have been free ones. But anyway, so the first book, Jill Smith's Consent, a memoir. It's a new book. It's about a woman who fell in love with her professor. Her professor fell in love with her. He was in his 40s. She was 17. Back in the, I'm wanting to say 70s. That sounds right. They fell in love apparently, and they got married, and they stayed married for several years. And she has written a memoir about it and how she feels about it today. How she feels about having been in a May-December romance, like a really May-December romance. And judging by today's standards, it's possible that she believes now that it's possible that she may have been groomed. Anyway, I don't know that much about the story. I do know that people have said that she doesn't necessarily take a side. You know, she doesn't come out on one side or the other with how she feels about what took place. She knows that she was married, she was in love, that she had a husband, and at the time it seemed normal because that was normal for the time. So I'm really interested in this book. It's a new release, and they've been talking about it on NPR, and I've seen a couple people talk about it on BookTube. So I want to get into it. I kind of want to see her thoughts. I want to see her life. I want to see how things transpired because it's a controversial topic. You know, things that were acceptable back in the day are not necessarily acceptable now, but can we really judge people for doing what was normal back then? And I think it's a slippery slope. So, you know, some people would say yes, some people would say no. I think it's a gray area, and I'm going to enjoy reading about that. So even though it's not next in the list, even though it's not next on the stack, I also got my Dark Vanessa because I've seen a lot of people review this, and apparently it's a very similar topic. Of course, this is fiction, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yes, this is fiction. So it'll be interesting to see the difference between the two. And I might even do like a compare and contrast. I don't know that much about the book because typically when I hear reviews, it's people doing wrap-ups or, you know, they kind of mention it and they're like, oh, it's really good. And they talk about the affair between the older man and the younger woman. But I don't know, people typically get very political with books like this. So you don't know what the book is actually about sometimes, you know, you just know their feelings on it. But it's a New York Times bestseller by Kate Elizabeth Russell. And I do kind of want to compare and contrast the two. So I think I will definitely be checking this out. Okay, so it's going to be 100 degrees today and I'm not going to put a lot of stuff on my face. But I have been using this Mela B3 serum and it's really good apparently for removing dark spots. It is a new product from La Roche-Posay and it comes highly recommended. I don't have a ton of dark spots, but I do have some unevenness in my skin tone. So I would love something that would kind of even out my skin tone a little bit and take away any small dark spots that I do have. I do kind of suffer with a little bit of darkness under my chin because when you get to be my age, you grow hair there. And it sucks if you're a girl. But anyway, I pluck, and when I pluck, sometimes that leaves dark spots because any trauma to your face can leave dark spots. I love this serum so far. I've been using it for about a week and a half. Mostly days and nights, but sometimes just in the daytime. And it is really nice. It sinks into the skin. It doesn't leave it sticky. But it's weird. It smells kind of like cotton candy, but perfume at the same time, but not strong at all. It's a very pleasant scent. And it's not too watery. I think it's doing something, but I'm not sure. We will definitely revisit it. We'll check back. But so far, no breakouts. You know, it's not irritating my skin or anything like that. I do feel like the skin tone might be toning a bit more, like it may be, but I'm not sure yet. Jury's still out, but I'll let you know. And then I'm just going to go in with my sunscreen, you know, the 2 fingers. I use Tatcha. It's the Tatcha, the silk sunscreen. So good. It's an SPF 50. I pretty much only use 2 sunscreens. 2 mineral sunscreens. Chemical sunscreens break me out. So I typically only use mineral sunscreens, and that one has zinc oxide in it. And that's the active ingredient. I'm sure they've put something else in it or done something else to it so that it doesn't leave a crazy white cast, because it doesn't, but it's like 20%, 10%, I'm sorry, zinc oxide. So it's good though. I also like the Summer Fridays. Sunscreen as well. It is an SPF 30 though. So I've moved to the Tatcha for the summer because, you know, when I'm outside, the sun is crazy. I mean, I guess the sun is crazy sometimes in the winter too if it's snowing, but we don't get much snow. So in the summer, I definitely wanted to step it up and go beyond an SPF 30. So I do have to let this sink in before I go to the next step. So since I have to let it sink in, I thought I would talk about a couple other books. Okay, so this book, The Brave in Between, Notes from the Last Room. I picked this up because I read the cover and found it really interesting. It's about a newly divorced woman and single mother, and she's dealing with loss and death. This is my nonfiction offering, and it's The Brave, you know, and I will just read just a blurb on top, but I'm not going to go too much in depth into this book yet. But it says, so many people are in pain these days, enduring hard times, facing challenges. They are wondering, how do I do this? Amy Lowe is the perfect guide. So yeah, she talks about, I guess I'll read a little bit of it. Death can come at any time, but some people are acutely aware that it's close. The elder in the nursing home, the middle-aged person who has just suffered a stroke, the teenager with terminal illness. Amy Lowe calls this awareness, this waiting, the last room. Very interesting. Don't know a whole lot about it, but it just kind of called to me in the store, so I picked it up. The next book came highly recommended from a young lady in the bookstore. Like, she raved about this book. It's called Homeward by Angela Jackson Brown. She says that it is very heartwarming. She says it's about family, and it's a little scandalous for back in the time. It was written, the time frame that it's supposed to be written in is 1962. I had never heard of the book, but I just think the cover is gorgeous. And so I was like, well, I reached out to touch the book, picked it up, and she made a beeline for me. Cute little girl. She made a beeline for me and proceeded to tell me everything I needed to know that I need to read this book. And so I got it. I'll read the blurb real quickly. Georgia, 1962, Rose Perkins Bourdon returns home to Parsons, Georgia without her husband and pregnant with another man's baby. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a little juicy. Okay. After tragedy strikes her husband in the war overseas, a numb Rose is left with pieces of who she used to be and is forced to figure out what she's going to do with the rest of her life. Her sister introduces her to members of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, young people who are taking risks and fighting battles Rose has only seen on television. Violence sweeps the nation, from the bombing of 16th Street Baptist Church to the assassination of the president, and rumors swirl of marches and protests. Feeling emotions for the first time in what feels like forever, the excited and frightened Rose finds herself becoming increasingly involved in the resistance efforts. And of course, there's also the young man, Isaac Weinberg, whose passion for activism stirs something in her she didn't think she would ever feel again. This just seems like it's going to be a good book, and I feel like it'll probably make a good television show or movie too. Yes. All right. I think this is sunk in because yeah, I do have to go. I don't know why we YouTubers decide to make these videos like when we have to do things. I'm going to go ahead and just prep my face with the MAC Fix Plus because it's hot, y'all. And I'm not doing too much because one, I'm going to the dentist, and two, it's supposed to be 100 degrees today. And I don't understand it. This heat, I'm not built for this heat, okay? I'm just not, simply not. I don't know if I talked about the Rhode glazing milk, but this is also, these are the peptides, the glazing peptides. And I do believe, like I said, this has the copper and the hyaluronic acid too. So both great products. And yeah, I'm doing the Fix Plus. I don't know why I just decided to pat it in because it really doesn't need that. I don't really want to put any color cosmetics on my face, but I'm going to have to. But I think I will do that. Well, I guess I can start. I don't really want to do it now. I can't see. So I'm going to have to do my base and come back. How about that? Give me 1 second. Normal People is a book that I've been hearing about since I watched probably my first BookTube video. It's all over the place. Sally Rooney is all over the place. People love Sally Rooney and they love her books. And so I decided to give it a go. I just finally decided to bite the bullet and read my first Sally Rooney book. And I might even make that a reading vlog, or attempt to make that a reading vlog, because I know how beloved she is by a lot of people in the book community. So in the car, I started reading the book and I got to page 31. That's how good her writing is. And it's, right now, I can't place it. By the time I finish reading the book, I'll know what it is about her writing that I really like. But what I think it is that she, at least in this book, writes like I think a lot of people think, especially in a book called Normal People. And I don't know if this is by design. Your average person has stream of consciousness thoughts. You know, your average person will be considering things, and she just does gray areas very well so far. Anyway, like I've only read 31 pages. So, you know, I could be totally wrong about all of it, but right now I'm just loving the flow of her writing and loving how her writing just seems very human. And I get that, I get the feeling, I could be totally wrong about this, she doesn't judge her characters and she just lets them be who they are. And I'm just getting that in the first 31 pages. Now, I'm not going to go on and on and on about it. Sally Rooney's books are not new to most people who read books. Some people, I'm sure, probably don't jive with her writing style, and that's fine. I have been reading a lot of books that are like heavy on like the, you know, they want to turn a phrase, they really want to make it sound smart. And a lot of times people are very successful with that. People like to make their books sound very flowery. They like for the language to be very cerebral at times or witty, you know, and I feel like she just kind of writes like regular people think. And I like that. Like, I love that because it makes the book easy to read, you know, it makes the book a pleasure to read. And you really do become well acquainted with the characters, at least in my experience. When people write like that, it really helps you to empathize with the characters. It really helps you to not judge them, to just accept them for who they are. And I'm a person who, I feel like that is the cornerstone of my whole life. Accepting people for who they are, not judging people, not having agendas for who I choose to be friends with and who I don't, and living my life in a way where I want to embrace as many people as possible and as many different people as possible. I always get sidetracked. I do have to get this done though, because I do have to leave at some point. So we'll talk more about Miss Rooney. We'll talk more about her. Moving on. The last two books that I have are I Hope This Finds You Well and James by Percival Everett. Now, Percival Everett wrote Erasure, which is the book inspiration for American Fiction. The movie that came out last year that was freaking amazing. Like, I loved that movie so much. Let me just put on some mascara. I'm not really doing much else to my face because, like I said, I'm going to the dentist and it's 100 degrees. So, did I mention it was 100 degrees? So I'm just going to put a little mascara on and just kind of define my brows a little bit. And then, you know, we'll be done. So anyway, I loved Erasure. I loved, what am I trying to say? I loved American Fiction. I thought it was an amazing movie. I thought the writing was incredible. The acting was incredible. And I have not yet read Erasure, but I do want to. And I will. I haven't seen it anywhere. But James is Percival Everett's new offering. It is brand new. And it is a retelling of, girl, is it Tom Sawyer or Huckleberry Finn? I'm hoping it's Huckleberry Finn because I had to read that. Yeah, it's the retelling of the Huckleberry Finn story. A brilliant reimagining of adventures of Huckleberry Finn, both harrowing and ferociously funny, told from the enslaved Jim's point of view. Y'all, come on now. This is the book I did not know that I needed or that I even wanted. But I read Huckleberry Finn. I had to read it for a couple of classes in high school. And I'm almost tempted to go back and revisit it before I read this. Because, you know, I feel a comparison coming on because what? This is amazing, right? Like, and people love this book. Like, apparently this book, I think it's on one of the 100 books of the 21st century. You know, that list just came out, which is crazy because it just came out in 2024. I think it made the list. If it didn't, maybe Erasure made the list. I'm not sure. I'll check back because I also kind of want to talk to you guys about that list too in a different video. But you guys, come on now. Because I remember the adventures of Huckleberry Finn. And, you know, even as a kid, I was kind of like, oh, this is a lot. So were they friends? We'll see. We'll definitely see. And the last book, I Hope This Finds You Well. This was in no particular order. In this wildly funny and heartwarming office comedy, an admin worker accidentally gains access to her colleagues' private emails and DMs and decides to use this intel to save her job. A laugh till you cry debut novel you'll be eager to share with your entire list of contacts. Perfect for fans of anxious people. And Eleanor Oliphant is completely fine. I just thought this was going to be fun. I loved the pink and red cover because, you know, aesthetics, right? I just thought this was going to be fun. And it's like written, you know, there's emails and in-office stuff. Like, I don't know. I never really watched The Office. And not that this has anything to do with that. I have no idea if it does or not. I never really watched it, but I always see like clips from it, and you know, I've seen a few clips from it and it just looks like fun. And I always said that one of these days I was going to go ahead and binge it. 1 second. You know, just so I could be part of the in crowd too. But I know people love The Office, and different references that I've seen from it just seem really cool. You know, I'm not going to do a whole lot to the back of my hair because when you're in the dentist chair, you're laying like this. Y'all ever thought about that? I'm going to end up with dentist chair hair anyway. So I'm not even going to touch the back of my hair. I don't even know what it looks like back there. And I'm not back there. So today, I don't care. That's not very fly, is it? Oh, well. It's the dentist. I always feel like I need a reward every time I come home from the dentist. I think I have to get a crown or something. Like, I don't even know what it is that's going on. But, oh, Lord. Okay. Whatever it is, you think I would know, but I try not to think about the dentist. And I don't know anybody else who is like, ooh, I'm going to the dentist. You know, although my last cleaning was really, really nice. It was good. I've been taking care of my teeth. I've had some struggles in the past though. So anyway, so my camera's telling me that my microphone, that the battery is at 1%, which is probably meaning that I need to stop my yapping. So those were the books I picked up from the haul. And for the most part, this is my look without lips. So I'm gonna, you know, make my edges a little cuter and rub that in right there. But this is the look, and the microphone has said no. The microphone is done, so if the sound changes, this is why. All right, you guys, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. I know I'm supposed to say that within like the first 10 seconds of the video. I've never been good at that. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I have more stuff coming. I'm trying to be a better booktuber. It's not easy. It's not. All right. Let me go, because I am really, like, literally wasting time. I don't want to go to the dentist. That's a fact. I'm stalling because I don't want to go, y'all. All right. Bye.